Hello everyone and welcome to one of my videos. In this video I'm going to go through the Pokemon Scale World Red and Snorlax figure, or Kabigon in his Japanese name, Snorlax's Japanese name. So I've covered some Scale World figures in the past, so that was the Kanto starter set, so that included Charizard, Venusaur and Blastoise, including Professor Oak, which was a Bandai web exclusive, and this is again another web exclusive, hence the brown shipper box right here, so I haven't opened it yet. So my opinions on those figures in the past, take a look at those videos. But I decided I'm gonna check out a few more of these figures just because, you know, Pokemon's a pretty cool brand and IP, and some of the characters are quite appealing. And I just kind of wanted to check out some particular Pokemon, and Snorlax was one of them because it included Red too. So this is the packaging, because it's a web exclusive, as I mentioned. So it comes in this brown box. It's plain otherwise though. So I'm gonna take the tape off of this right now. But yeah, so there have been web exclusives of this Scale World set at the moment. And just to kind of explain what Scale World is. So Scale World is essentially the Pokemon series and a bunch of those characters in a single uniform scale, which is pretty interesting because it's not really been done before. So they've done, like I said, the Kanto starters before. They've done the Johto starters as well. And now they're actually doing some of the Galar Pokemon. And there's other regions that they've covered as well. So it's not every Pokemon that's been done yet, or every character either. You know, there's tons to go through. So bit by bit, they're covering nearly all regions. And it's interesting what they've done so far. And yeah, just in terms of scale. So this is a web exclusive, as I mentioned a few times now. But what I want to point out is there's a web exclusive stuff like this, and then there's a general release that you can get, which includes say Red, a different figure of Red, with other Pokemon. So it comes with Pikachu, Eevee, and all those other kind of smaller Pokemon. It doesn't necessarily have to be just the Kanto region. It can be other regions as well. So check that out. There is a Galar version also coming up very soon. But they've made some of these Pokemon, especially the larger ones, as Bandai web exclusives, which means that you have to pre-order them within a certain time frame before the time lapses, the window closes, or the pre-order number is reached. So a few of the ones in the past, like Lapras, which I don't have, he's not included in this set, but Lapras was with Giovanni, I believe, and actually I might be wrong on that one, but when Lapras came out, I forgot to pre-order it on time, so I wasn't able to get it, and it's very expensive to get through eBay now, so I don't think I'll ever get Lapras anymore. But anyway, this is the packaging for Red, and it's showing Lapras and Venusaur just to kind of put things into scale with Pikachu. I'm actually not sure if this comes with the Pikachu, probably does, which is very interesting. You can see straight away the scaling of it is pretty cool. The packaging is very similar to what we had before with the Kanto limited set that I unboxed previously. So you've got Red and Snorlax here again. Oh, you get the Snorlax Flute, I imagine, which is cool. And then on the side, some more photographs of what they look like. So as I was mentioning, you'll get some of these Pokemon here, like this Kanto starters again in their first form, Eevee and Pikachu. Those are general release figures. Porygon, I'm not sure if it's general release. Arcanine I've covered, he was a web exclusive that came with blue. So yeah, check those out. You can see how tiny the Eevee one is. I don't have those ones because I'm pretty much focusing my time and attention just on what's web exclusive because, yeah, limited, right? Then you've got just some Japanese text on the reverse side, nothing on the bottom. And then another photograph of them. So he's 80 millimeters and 105 millimeters for Snorlax. So pretty, generic pose for Snorlax there. So let's take the tape off of that as well. So I do also have Lance and Dragonite, which also comes as a set just like Red and Snorlax coming. So I'll do an unboxing of that as well. I've creased that bit, but no worries. So yeah, I'll do an unboxing of Lance and Dragonite after I've covered this one, because they came out at the same time, or at least I got them at the same time. I just want to show you this bit as well. So here's the Galar set that I was talking about. So these, I think they're coming out at the end of the year, this year, depending on COVID, I suppose. But yeah, you can see you get Rillaboom, Inteleon, and Cinderace. I don't think these are web exclusive. I think you can get these as one big set. Rillaboom actually, I think, is a web exclusive. He comes as a separate standalone figure. So they look pretty cool too. So I'm not going to get all of them. I've got Rillaboom on pre-order. I'm not really sure about the other set. Again, focusing more on the web exclusives. These are candy toys, so you do get a little candy with that. I'm not going to try it, so put that to the side. comes in a nice blister. This is actually different from my experience with the Kanto with Professor Oak set. So that one, when I covered that, that was pretty much a large box like this, including more plain boxes with each Pokemon inside of it, and then they were in basically bubble wrap and plastic wrap as well. So this is in an actual blister packaging inside, which is quite interesting. I would say it's because of the weight and potential size of Snorlax, but then Venusaur was pretty big and weighed a bit as well. Let's just get this thing fully open. So you got Red in a plastic bag, and take him out holding his Pokeball. I'll show him in more detail in just a moment. So you do indeed get the Poké Flute right here. Show you everything in detail later. You get a little base for Red. Professor Oak and Blue also came with one. You don't always need to use them. They're handy to have if you've got a wobbly or uneven surface, then sure, why not use them? And then there's nothing else there. I guess this is a base for Snorlax. Yes, it is. Probably don't need that either. And then just a plain box otherwise. So I'm going to unbag Snorlax. The bag's different from the first set too. Not a big deal, but just something I'm noticing. So here we go. We've got the base. Let's get some debris out the way. What I'll do, I'll try and stand up Red on his own for now. And the Flute, I'll just place in front of him. So yeah, this is the Snorlax. I'm not sure how the base goes for this one. Probably just sits on it. Yeah, there we go. So it isn't toppled over. Okay, first up, let's quickly just get the Poké Flute out of the way. Let's take a look. So this is the Poké Flute with just a yellow coloring on it with the red trims and then a Pokeball design at the base as well. So yeah, pretty basic looking, and it's nice. It's tiny. It does the job, I suppose. Yeah, so that's it for the Poké Flute. And then move on to Red. So Red is has his cap holding a Pokeball, has his backpack design, very similar to the scale of the blue one, which it should be because that's the whole point of this series. I actually don't have blue on me at the moment. I have Arcanine out, but not blue, so that's a bit of disappointment. But otherwise, Red doesn't look too bad, actually. His face is decent. I would say the expression is decent. The paint on the eyes are decent. His hair sculpt is decent. A little bit of wonky paint here and there, but it's not a huge deal from what I can see so far. A bit plain on his shirt and then his pants, but it's not a bad figure. Kind of expected, the plainness. So if you've seen my previous videos on this, so Blue in particular, I didn't like his expression. I didn't like the way his mouth, his smirk came out in the end, especially compared to what was on the box and promo pictures. The actual real thing wasn't that great, but Red actually doesn't look bad. I would actually say Red looks good. He looks quite good. So yeah, I'm satisfied with the way Red's turned out. So I'm going to put him away. Actually, before I do that, so with his base, you just kind of have to force his feet in, and then there we go. He can stand on his own, like so. You don't always need it. Again, it's mostly if you've got a bit of an uneven surface. If you really wanted to, you could just put some blue tack at the bottom. Let's move on to Snorlax then. So moving on to the big guy himself. So as you saw earlier, this is his base. It comes with it in the packaging, so he just stands and leans on the base like so. It's pretty lightweight object actually. This hollow plastic. That's it. It's just so he doesn't kind of topple over, I imagine, like so. But he kind of stands pretty well on his own, to be honest. So again, if you've got a pretty uneven surface, then sure, this might come in handy. You might even need to put it in front of him if you really needed to. So you saw Red topple over, but that's okay. So let's have a closer look at Snorlax. So Snorlax's color scheme is pretty simple for the most part. A lot of the Kanto region Pokemon are pretty basic in terms of solid colors here and there. So yeah, he's very simple. He might come out a little bit more vibrant in the video itself. I can't promise if that's going to happen or not. But his color scheme is it's green, which some people may not like so much because it might be too green. The back part of him. Others might think it's okay. Or they might think that it needs to be a bit more duller or grayish on the grey side of things, if you like. But I don't mind it. I'm not a huge Snorlax fan, so I'm not entirely that picky. But it's accurate in my eyes. Plus, yeah, the belly flesh tone, you could say, looks fine as well. His expression is just, yeah, regular Snorlax with his teeth that you can see right there. Hopefully you can see the line for his mouth as well, which is just basically just an etched straight line, which is fine. And then sculpted all the way around for the whole flesh part as well. Looking at his fingernails, pretty plain white. On the back side again, and then his feet, so you can see the pads and a darker brown. That's fine. And then you got a Pokemon CC, Pokemon copyright mark, which is, yeah, here we go, right there. So actually, yeah, overall it's a very plain Snorlax figure. Whether you like Snorlax or not, I mean, like I said, I'm not the most attached to Snorlax. You know, I totally understand why people love this Pokemon, but he's not my favorite personally. But he looks good. He pairs well with red as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring out a couple of the other Pokemon that I have. They're not all going to fit in the frame, so I might have to do a couple of them at a time. But let's show you that and how they scale up in proportion to one another. So first I'm going to bring out Charizard. Because of his wings, it's probably best to just be the only one I bring out for the time being. Nobody can kind of see how they scale up. Just so you know, Charizard's wings do come up a little bit easy for mine. Take a look at my video to see that in more detail. Previous video. But here you can see Charizard and Snorlax together along with red as well. Put red in the center a little bit more. And then get them both to kind of sit. So good scaling for them actually. I feel like Charizard is actually smaller now than I would have maybe imagined if I didn't see them side by side. So that's Charizard. I'm going to bring out Arcanine as well. So Arcanine is another web exclusive that came with a blue figure. But sadly I don't have blue out of the packaging anymore. I've put him away. So you can see Arcanine and Snorlax. Arcanine is nice and big as well. Check out my other video for that. Then we'll bring out Blastoise. So he's smaller than Snorlax. I'll raise this up as well. There goes red again. You can see. I think Blastoise turned out decent in general, but yeah, I had some paint issues with Blastoise. But we're not here to talk about Blastoise. Now let's bring out the other big one, which is Venusaur, whose leaf has just fallen off. So I'm going to place that back in, like so. Venusaur was and is very, very big and weighs a decent amount as well. Venusaur is a lot heavier than Snorlax as a figure. As a figure, he's definitely heavier. But yeah, you can see the scaling on them as well. He's a bigger figure as well. Height-wise, yeah, he's bigger too. So they look really, really nice together. So let's bring out Blastoise again. You can see Charizard's wing, and I'll leave it at that. And then I'll bring out red just to kind of show you. So I'll move the camera down just a little bit. Not the most ideal height, but hopefully still you can see the scale of all of these Pokemon together. Now, scale-wise, which is the main aim of this line of figure, I'm still, I'm impressed actually with them still doing it and carrying on with this whole scale. I really probably should get, say, the basic Pokemon like Eevee, and even the Kanto starters or Johto starters, just because those ones are usually, I think their heights are like 3 foot or something like that, or 1 meter. So they're really tiny Pokemon in comparison to some of the bigger ones like Snorlax and Venusaur, but I don't own them, so I'm curious how they look in comparison to these guys in the flesh rather than just seeing photos and videos of it online. But generally, yeah, I really like the scaling of it. I think the figures, I had my issues in the past with some of the paint and some of the sculpting, especially with this guy. I still have that issue, not so much with Snorlax. He's turned out pretty decent because he's thankfully a very, very basic Pokemon. There's only 2 colors to him, excluding the whites on his teeth and claws, and the pads, I guess. But then he's a basic Pokemon, so the paint should really be up to scratch, and thankfully it is for him. Blastoise didn't fare so well in my opinion, but if they can keep this up, we'll see. Hopefully with when I unbox the Lance and Dragonite figure, which is going to be quite an exciting one as well, because Lance is pretty cool and everyone loves Dragonite to some degree as well, so that should be really, really cool to see with all of these guys too. So this guy here, Red and Snorlax himself, Again, comes in just this one set with the Poké Flute. I got mine, I believe, for around 9,000 yen. I cannot remember if that included shipping or not. I purchased mine from Nin Game just because everyone else sold out at the time. Same for Lance and Dragonite, which I'll cover in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you do check out Lance and Dragonite coming right after this. See you in the next video. Peace out.